Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee, and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things that I've been knitting on over the past week. Today is Sunday, February 8th, 2026, and this is episode 125. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. And today I'm coming to you from a sunny 50-degree southwest Wyoming where we still have no snow. I think it's going to snow sometime this week and get colder, but we'll see. The weather forecast is calling for some moisture over the next week. We'll see if it snows or if it just rains. It has been a crazy winter. Everywhere that usually gets snow over here on the western coast, western side of the United States is dry, and everywhere else on the east has got lots of snow and lots of moisture. So it's been a weird year so far. I have 2 finished objects and 6 works in progress I would like to talk to you about today. Let's see, was that all I needed to talk about in my intro? I think it was. I have an update on my WIP progress. I started the year with 22 works in progress, and I am down to 16. So I've also cast on at least three new things this year, but I am down to 16 works in progress, starting from 22 at the beginning of the year. So I have 2 finished objects. Let's talk about those first. My first finished object is my String of Lights socks by Sock Witchery. You guys have seen these a few times. I had 1 sock completely finished last time, and I had just a little bit left on the second sock, and I did finish these last Sunday. So these were finished Sunday the 1st of February, and I've just been waiting to show them. I haven't weighed them yet because I want to take the progress keeper off before I weigh them, but I wanted to show you where I was last time so I didn't forget. But these are finished. This color is hot cocoa. No, this color is chocolate from Momma Jess Knits, and then this color was her January 2025 mystery color, and it was Cozy January Day. And so I knit these in the String of Lights pattern. I did a 64 stitch German twisted cast on for the cuff. I did 20 rounds in a 2x2 rib on size 0 needles, which is a 2 millimeter. And then I did the String of Lights pattern, the textured pattern. I substituted in the slip stitch heel flap from the Crazy Sock Ladies Vanilla Socks, and I substituted in the toe from the Crazy Sock Ladies Vanilla Socks pattern. Most of the time on the pattern socks that I do, I cast on 64 stitches. I do a 2x2 ribbed cuff. I do the pattern for the leg, and I substitute in this heel and this toe. So usually the part of the pattern that I use is only the textured part, so I will substitute in a toe up heel or a toe up sock into a cuff down sock and just use the texture pattern. So these are finally finished. I finally get to put them in my sock drawer and wear them. This reminds me of hot cocoa on a cold day. I haven't had any hot cocoa this year because it hasn't been that cold. I think, yeah, my watch says 54 degrees right now. It is sunny. It is slightly windy, but it is a very nice day. So those are my first finished objects. My second is also a sock set from Mama Jess Knits. This was her fourth Sunday of Advent sock set. I did the vanilla bean pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. I did a 2x2 ribbed cuff. I started with 64 stitches, 2x2 ribbed cuff, did the vanilla bean pattern for 70 rounds, did a slip stitch heel flap, and then I'm pretty sure she uses the same toe in all of her patterns. I was right here on the first sock last time, and I finished the second sock. So I did this whole sock this week. This is a fun 4-row repeat textured pattern. So those are finished. I get to put these in my sock drawer and wear them after I weigh them. So these ones are for me. I have 2 more pair of socks that I need to cast on for gifts. 2 more pairs of socks that I need to finish for me. So those were my only 2 finished objects for this week. If you have any questions about them, my project page will be linked in the description box below. I will link all the project pages, the yarn dyers, and the bag makers in the show notes in the description box below. If you have any other questions, please let me know by putting them in the comments section, and I will get back to you as soon as possible on that. So let's talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is, yes, okay, I was looking at my show notes. This one is in a bag by Knit for Brains. They have an Etsy shop, and I am doing another Mama Jess Knits sock set. Let's see. This one is Winter Reading Day. And I am doing the Thursday night socks by Sock Witchery. This one came with this purple for the contrast color, and then the main color. I did do the purple contrast for the heel, and I will do that on the toe. I just barely finished the gusset decreases on this one. This is also a textured pattern. I do all my socks on size 0 9-inch circular needle. That is a 2mm 9-inch circular needle. I did 70 rounds for the leg, 20 rounds for the cuff in a 2x2 rib. I was right here last time I showed it, so I am ready to do the foot. I will probably have this one done next time. This sock, not the sock, the pair. So did that. This is a textured pattern. This is the first time I've made this texture and the vanilla bean texture pattern. I just wanted to mix it up a little bit. My go-to is the string of lights. If I don't want to do vanilla and I don't know what pattern I want to do, I just default to the string of lights pattern. So there is that first one. Thursday Night Socks by Sock Witchery. And this was the 3rd Sunday of Advent sock set that I got this year from Mama Jess Knits. And then my next work in progress is also another sock set by Mama Jess Knits. It is the second Sunday of Advent sock set. This is a Fates Threads bag. They are no longer making bags. This colorway is Cozy Reading Nook. And the contrast color is Midnight. And I'm doing the It'll Be Fine Socks by Dimi Reed. This is a toe up pattern. I just took the chart, and I don't even think I flipped the chart to be cuffed down. I think I just started following the chart. So I just substituted in the chart in the leg. I was right here last time. I am almost ready for the heel. I've got 20 more rounds and then I will be ready for the heel. I'm gonna do 70 rounds for the leg. I did 64 stitches, 2x2 rib for the cuff, and then I'm just following the pattern. I think you can see the stripes on this one. It's kind of a fun pattern. It makes you think as you're going around, because you can't just do the same thing on every row. I think it is an 8-row repeat. Yeah, 8-row repeat. So I'm gonna move my stitch marker so I don't forget, because sometimes I forget on these ones if I don't work on them very often. So that will be worked on this week too. I hope to get these done, and then I can start some other socks. I have 2 pairs of socks that I want to make for gifts, and then I have 4 pairs of socks that I want to make for Mother's Day gifts. So those will be coming up pretty soon. As soon as I finish those 2 pairs of socks, I will cast on the other ones. Or I might cast on the other ones this week. My next work in progress is in a Redsldycreats bag. Here's her tag. And this is my Jaunty shawl by Andrea Mowry. This is a half fisherman's rib shawl, and I am using some hand spun yarn I picked up at a fiber thing at least 4 years ago, and I had just been waiting and thinking, what can I make with that skein? It was 177 grams, and I think this is anywhere between a lace weight and sport weight. Some parts are thicker than other parts, so like this one right here is a little bit thicker than this part. Can you see how thin this is? Let's see. So when the Jaunty came out, I was like, ooh, that is the perfect pattern for that skein of yarn I got. So sometimes you buy the yarn and it has to wait like 4 years before you find the perfect pattern for it. So I was right here last time. Did a few more repeats. This is half fisherman's rib, and I cannot wait to finish this and block it and see how it blocks out. It is kind of striping. And I did put my row counter because it's an 8-row repeat. You do your increases, and so I had to put a row counter on here, so I was making sure I was doing the repeat on the right row and not going too soon or a row too late. So that it will be getting some work throughout these next few weeks, it is easy to just pick up and work on at night when I don't feel like really counting anything. It's an easy repeat, half fisherman's rib once you get going. It's pretty easy. One row is knit in the row below, purl, knit in the row below, purl, and then if it's flat, the row back is just knit the whole time. So that one's pretty easy to just work on without thinking. I think I'm using a size 2, US 2. I have my little needle thing here. Size 2 is a 2.75 millimeter needle. So I'm doing that. As I was shopping last Sunday, I kind of decided I wanted to make another birch pullover. I wear my green one all the time, and I think I want to make another one. So I just have to find the right yarn. It is also a half fisherman's rib pattern. It does take a very long time to knit. So I don't know. I think I want to make another one because I really love the way it fits and the way it feels. I think I would go down a pattern size and see if I like that also. Then the next thing I worked on is in this bag by Awesome Granny. I made some progress on this one. This is my Lento. I'm using the Sheepy Shire cereal packet in the color Hydrangea and Stitchin with yarn fingering weight in the color Stitch Quest. And I am on my second ball of each one. Ooh, the sway. I did try it on and I measured how long I wanted it, and then I took into account the ribbing, and I was pretty much right where I wanted to start the ribbing after I measured it. So I did the ribbing on Friday, and then I did a tubular bind off. When I do a tubular bind off, if I'm holding two strands together and one of them is a mohair or a surrey, I drop the mohair or surrey, the fluff yarn, and I only bind off with the main yarn, and you can't really even tell. So that got bound off. I wove in the yarn on the neck. I like to leave like a little piece hanging in the back so I know which side is the back. Sometimes after you block it and it sets, you're not quite sure which is the front and which is the back until you put it on and it feels funny and you turn it around and it feels funnier and then you turn it back and then it feels fine. But then I did pick up the sleeve. I did all the decreases on the sleeve, and now I just have to knit plain stockinette until it reaches the length that I want before the ribbing. So this is almost finished. I only have to finish this sleeve and this sleeve and it's done. So hopefully I can finish that this week. It is going to be so soft. Surrey is just a little bit softer than mohair, and I feel like it doesn't have the little prickles that the mohair can have sometimes, the little pokey that you can feel sometimes. So that is the Lento. I will have the designer's name probably right up here somewhere, and it will also be linked in my project page. I dropped all my yarn, so I gotta pick it up. Alright, got all back in here. Hopefully this will be finished. My grams out for the month of February should be pretty good, because I don't plan on purchasing anything but my Mama Jess sock set for February. It has already been paid for and it will just ship when she gets it all dyed up, and then hopefully that's the only thing I receive in February. Then I have my painting Honeycombs. This is in a Sassy Sacks. I have not done today's repeat on this one. It is getting pretty big for this bag. I am using Lion Brand Mandala. I did have a question on this mandala yarn. This yarn is super, super, super soft compared to like this one, this regular mandala. This one is more like just like a regular acrylic, like Karen or Pound of Love, or it's softer than Red Heart, but this one is softer than this one. I really love how this one feels. It does really feel soft. So it's the softer of all of them. This one is the ombre in the color Serene. And I'm also using the color Mantra. That's the color Repeat. I am on my last ball of the Mantra. I'm a little worried that I'm going to run out. I do have this much left on the pink, and then I have this whole ball. I think I might need to buy one more ball of the Mantra, because I want to do 53 honeycomb repeats, and I am at 39. So that is at least 10 more, would put me at 49, 14 more. I need 14 more repeats. I don't think I'm going to get 14 more repeats out of that ball, and I don't think I have any more in my stash. So I might have to buy one more ball of the Mantra just to get through all of this. This is the back side. I've had a few questions about this, and without giving away the pattern, it is just knit stitches, purl stitches, and slip stitches. So it is pretty easy once you get going on it to remember the repeat. I don't even have to look at the pattern anymore. I think after I did the first one, if I put it down for a long time, I had to look at the repeat, but now I'm like, oh yeah. So it is, let's see, about, maybe if I hold it this way, about that wide. Covers, it's a nice throw size width-wise. I want to make it pretty much maybe up to here, so it's a good like lap size blanket. Right now it comes to about my waist. If I'm holding it touching the ground, it goes to my waist. So it does have quite a bit left. I think I might have to get one more ball of yarn to finish it. So it is almost done. It will be done by the end of February. So that will also be a really nice amount of yarn out of stash. I am participating in a few stash down make-alongs, blanket make-alongs. I will link all of those in the description box below. And then Jen of the Stash Down Diaries is doing a elder stash where you, I think you just have to use your stash that has been in your possession the longest, and if you don't have a stash, the last yarn you bought is probably your oldest yarn. She doesn't have any like it has to be before this date, it just has to be whatever in your stash is the oldest thing for you, or some of the older yarn stash you have. Because I have some that's been in stash for quite a while and some that's been in stash for even longer than that. So this one was my Painting Honeycombs blanket by Stephen West, and I will link all of the make-alongs I am trying to participate in the description box below. Then the last thing I have, I pulled out this bag that I got from Mama Jess Knits this year for the 4 Sundays of Advent. It came with that yarn, and I pulled out my Love Light blanket. This is by, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, it will be up here, but it's the Love Light blanket, and I did a few more rows. I was right here just barely starting, excuse me, I had the hiccups. Barely starting the hiccups. Barely starting this purple right here. I did the green, and now I'm into the gray. I'm about halfway through the gray, and the gray is day 12. And then I think 13 is going to be fun to go after that. It's this fun one. I am so excited to get all of these little minis in here. This was such a fun swap to do this over Christmas, and I think the blanket is going to be amazing when I get it finished. So I'll just leave that. It doesn't want to fit all the way back in the bag right now. So this is fingering weight held single. Yeah, this is the front. The front and the back are kind of the same. It's a ribbed pattern, so it's reversible. It's gonna be fun. This is about halfway, so I think I might need to pull some of my other minis and put in here maybe. It might grow. I don't know. I think I might want to make it longer. It is a fun pattern to work on though. So this will go back in this bag, and I'll work on it whenever I get a couple minutes here and there, when I think I can do at least one row without getting interrupted. So that was the last thing I have for you. I forgot to mention my sweater that I'm wearing. I even put that at the beginning of my show notes so I didn't forget, but I think the no snow is throwing me off. This is the Brooklyn Raglan by Tori. It is knit out of Dragon Horde yarn in her DK base, in the color Bone Carver. Yeah, so it is this beautiful speckled. I love it. This is plain stockinette. This is a moss stitch. So you do the moss stitch all the way down the arms on both sides, and then this is just plain stockinette. It does have a split hem or curved hem, where it has this little curve, and you do short rows for the front and short rows for the back before you bind off. It is very comfortable. I want to knit a couple more Tori patterns this year. I officially frogged my ranunculus, and I am going to use that yarn. It came with a contrast color, and Therese of Caffeinated Cast-Ons is doing a Tori pattern out of a sport weight yarn. Let me see if I can find it. The Gramercy Tea. And she does have it in a long sleeve version. And I think, depending on how much yarn you need, it is in a sport weight. I think I want to use that green yarn because it's got green, these two. And I have 3 of these and 2 of these. So I think I can do it. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to check the yardage and see if I could do the Gramercy tea with that. These 2 colors. I think that's what this yarn needs to be. So that is a future cast on from Tori U. I do like her patterns. They are written very well. I've made at least 2 so far. Yeah, don't have any mail this time. So I think that's it this week. I have a couple after school things that I have to go to, some parent meetings, at least 1 or 2. Oh, I have 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, so I have to show up to school a little bit early for one, stay late for another one. Then on Friday is February 13th. That is the day before Valentine's Day, so we have to have our Valentine's Day party on the 13th and exchange all of our Valentines. Parents come in and we have a fun little party at the end of the day. They get some treats and play some games. It is also our 100th day of school in kindergarten and first grade. We celebrate 100 days just so they can get some perspective on, like, what is 100? What does that look like? What does that mean? And some of our kids in first grade, we've asked them to make a 100-day poster where they put 100 things on a poster and they bring it in. They are so creative every single year. We had one that did, it looks like a graham cracker and melted chocolate, and then they did 100 mini marshmallows and then chocolate and graham cracker on the bottom. The chocolate and the graham cracker were just another, I think another poster board or like some construction paper or something. And then they had the 100 marshmallows. That one was cute. Looking forward to some more, something about s'more and 100. I can't remember what the phrase was, but it was super cute. And then we had 2 that did the same thing, and I don't think they knew that they were doing the same thing. They brought it in on the same day, and it was a picture of SpongeBob, and his body was in yellow pom-poms. So that was kind of fun. We've done 100 hearts, 100 stars. Somebody did a picture of the Titanic with 100 stars above it, and an iceberg. Someone did 100 fries from McDonald's, where they got the little mini French fry holders, and they put 10 fries in each one, and they had 10 French fry holders. That one was cute. They are just so creative every single year. I love the fun ones that they searched on Pinterest and they found them and they turned out so cute. And then I also really love the ones that you send home the poster and like somebody writes something on there for them and then they color the rest. I had at least 2 this year so far. We haven't got all of them back yet. 2 that Mom wrote 100 Days of Love, and then the child wrote drew 100 Flying Hearts, and then the other one, she divided her poster board into 20 squares and put 5 pictures in each square. She drew 5 things for each square, so each square had a different picture of something. One was pigs, one was hearts, one was stars. She just did a whole bunch of creative little teeny tiny pictures that you knew that she drew herself. They are so cute. One did pipe cleaners, where they curled the pipe cleaner and just stuck it to the poster board. So there was 100 pipe cleaners on there, all curled and like springy. It's super cute. So I'll have to share the rest of them next week if I remember. So it's just going to be another 5-day week for us, and then the next week is going to be a 5-day week, and then I get a 4-day week, and then we're into March, and then we have parent-teacher conferences, spring break, and then it's April, where it seems like April takes forever. We have lots of 5-day weeks in April, and then it's May, and then it's summertime, and the years just fly by so fast. One of my teacher friends had a daughter in high school a few years ago, and it was her senior year, and she said, the days are long, but the years are short. And that is 100% true. Sometimes the days just seem so long, but then you blink and it's the end of the school year. So I guess I will leave it there, and I will see you next Sunday. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button, leave a comment, hit that hype button, and I will see you next time. Until then, happy knitting.